Hey, also what I'm going to do here is show you some interesting tips and strategies to help get you through the Apex dungeons. This is useful if you have a lot of the lost map item and want to use them solo to try and play as many dungeons as possible. Now before I go through the strategy, this is what my stats look like. They're pretty decent, not spectacular, but I am getting there with the account, so that's always good. Attack and defense are about the same as well now. I do want to try and get the attack higher than defense ideally. That's going to take a bit of time though. If we go over to the Apex page, the two skills that are pretty much essential for this. The Battle Zeal skill, if you can't do any damage normally, and Reflective Shield, which is the most important skill out of these in my opinion. I will show you why as we play the dungeon. So let's go and set up a room anyway. I'm going to give the Thunder Vortex on Inferno a go. I can't actually complete this, but it will show you the strategy I'm using, and I should get quite far with it anyway. It's way beyond my battle rating. You can see here 475 when mine is 264. Let's create this anyway. So this is just to show you the strategies used. This is the hardest Apex dungeon I can currently attempt. So here we go, I'm going to enter now. Right, so here we go. On the first enemy group, what I'm going to do is build up a bit of rage, then immediately use the Reflective Shield skill. You can see that here. And then once that's up, I will just keep on using the Furious Strike skill. Now, Reflective Shield is one of the most useful skills in the game. Once you've activated it like this, the enemies hit you and then take considerable damage themselves. There we go, you can see the health on the enemies is going down really quickly. So this is the basic strategy for getting through the Apex dungeons. If you can sort of damage the enemies anyway. The other method you could try, if you can't do any damage, is use Battle Zeal like that, then use your attack that hits all of the enemies, and that should increase the damage on that. I think the best method though is to use Reflective Shield on each enemy wave like this. You can see the enemy's health goes down quite rapidly if you do this, and with this method you should, with a bit of luck, be able to complete Apex dungeons that you can't normally do. So it's a good strategy. Here's the first boss anyway. No idea if I can complete this or not. The enemies do quite a bit of damage to my account. I do have one other option though. I can swap my pets around if I can't get through the enemies. I'll have another go at this. I'm nowhere near the battle rating requirement for this dungeon, may I add. So, as expected, it's not going to be easy at all. I don't think it's impossible though. If I can get Demonic Slash going, and I can heal and survive. We're almost there. Very close. There we go. That's the first boss defeated. Going to need to build up a little bit of rage to get the shield going. There we go. I can also use this Demon Blood skill. I don't think that skill actually does that much damage, if I'm being honest. It's a bit weak. It does sometimes, you can see here, stun the enemy though. But yeah, the main strategy here is Reflective Shield basically. It's one of the key skills. One you really should try and learn as soon as possible. Now the second boss will be coming up in a minute. Not sure if I will be able to defeat that. Probably not, but I'll give it a go anyway. Be a little bit harder than the first boss that I was struggling with already, so yeah, it's going to be borderline if I can get through that boss or not. Right, here we go. So reflective shield like this. And I think a normal attack, then use demonic slash. And then maybe, with a bit of luck, I will get through the enemies. I don't know yet. I might do it. Not looking too bad, actually. I thought I would do worse than this. I'm going to go the big hit just to make sure I win. There we go. So now the enemy groups get a bit harder from here. 4 enemies rather than 3 enemies. Same strategy as before though. Reflective shield, maybe using this skill as well. Sometimes my rage fills up to the maximum or fills up by a lot when I use an attack. That's incredibly useful when it happens. There we go. Same strategy again. You can see exactly how this works though. If you have reasonable stats, put reflective shield up each time, then the enemies will take significant damage when they hit you, and then with a bit of luck, well, with quite a lot of luck should I say, you will hopefully win the battle and be able to complete the dungeon with a far lower battle rating than what is actually required. There we go, that's that enemy done. Now I'm at the end boss. What I'm going to do here is change my pet around. I'm using my better pet here basically. I don't want to use it throughout the entire dungeon as it will basically just kill it off. It will run out of life, but using it for the end boss seems acceptable. Now I don't think this is possible, but I think it's worth a try. You never know. Yeah. Okay, no chance. Absolutely no chance. However, I did manage to get to this point, so with a bit more of a stat increase, I should be able to complete the entire dungeon. But there we go. That gives you an idea for how you can get through the Apex dungeons if you are not quite strong enough for them yet. Even just getting to the end boss would get a bunch of items that could be really useful. I have been doing the Apex dungeon before that using this strategy, and it's actually relatively easy. The end boss I put my better pet on. I'll just bring this up quickly. This is my best one, the basic Weak Guardian. The one here, even though it's not a basic one, it's a more advanced one. The stats are not quite as good. It's better shown over here. The skills aren't as good as well as the basic one that I had to start with. I think one of the key skills is that one there. The increases 10% attack, and the undulation skill, if it goes to the higher percentage of damage, then that can make a big difference. And there we go. I think I'm going to end the video at this point. I hope that was interesting and helpful. As you saw, I couldn't complete the Apex dungeon, but I got pretty close. I got all the way to the end boss, and that was further than I was expecting. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing is always very much appreciated. I've included a previous video on the screen, plus a playlist, plus you can also subscribe from here if you want to do so. And thanks for watching.